Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear. I am the Director of Operations and one of the Managing Directors for BNI Arizona. And every week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education unit for watching. So thank you so much for attending this week's edition, and make sure to go in and log that chapter education unit in your BNI Connect app. So today I wanted to send you guys a couple reminders and some updates when it comes to our BNI Arizona awards. So a couple reminders. So we are still in the mix of member extravaganza, guys. Super exciting. So all applications for new members, so new members meaning they're not a transfer to your chapter or not a returning BNI member. So if they are a brand new member coming in, they would qualify for member extravaganza. And whoever sponsors that new member will automatically get 1 free month of BNI membership and will also get put into our raffle drawing, which is really exciting. So we're going to do the raffle at the end of member extravaganza, and it ends on June 3rd. So any application that gets submitted by June 3rd will qualify. It doesn't have to be approved by June 3rd. It just has to be submitted by June 3rd to qualify for this event. So we will be doing the raffle at the end of extravaganza, and your free month of membership will also get added 2 weeks after member extravaganza ends, because we want to give a couple weeks time for any of the last applications that were submitted by that June 3rd date to be processed by the membership committee, because we always want to make sure, remember guys, that we're processing applications within 2 weeks from the date that they submitted the application, because one of the biggest things that I don't think a lot of people realize is that a member's start date is the date that they submit their application and not the date that they are approved. So we want to ensure membership committees are processing those applications in a timely manner. If there are circumstances, let's say one of the key categories are open, such as realtor, financial advisor, insurance, or mortgage, those usually get an extended time for that category for about 4 weeks to accept applications for those roles, because those are the most sought after positions in all of BNI. Every chapter has those positions full, and if they aren't full, we have multiple representatives from those professions fighting for that spot. So those are going to be the key ones that we'll want to keep open just a little bit longer. So just wanted to give you the insight on that. And I wanted to let you guys know for the chapter awards. So we have 3 items that we are going to be basing our annual chapter awards on. One is going to be on net new members. The second one on thank you for closed business. And the third one is going to be on visitors. So we want to make sure that, one, we are inviting these amazing professionals to our chapters, right? That would qualify for the visitor spot. Now, the key thing that we're going to be looking at for the visitors is making sure that they're logged in BNI Connect. So if you go to chapter reports, and if you go to the visitor report, that is going to show you all of the visitors that were marked attendance for your chapter. Now, let's say you have a lot of visitor registrations, but maybe they were never marked for the attendance. That's something that we'll want to look into now, guys, because one of the biggest things that we can utilize BNI Connect for is a piece of the visitor follow-up. Once you mark a visitor that they've attended your meeting, the system will automatically send them an email thanking them for visiting and will give them the application link to apply for the chapter. And that's one of the biggest pieces, because each chapter has their own application link. So why not utilize BNI Connect system to ensure that the visitors are getting the right information for your chapter? Now, to help our leadership teams and our visitor hosts that are marking the attendance for the visitors, It is so key, guys, to make sure that we are registering all of our visitors, all of our guests, and our substitutes when it comes to our BNI meetings. One, that helps our leadership teams prepare for how many people are going to be in attendance at our meetings, but then our visitors will also receive the information about your chapter meeting, and it alerts the visitor hosts and the leadership teams that are sending communication prior to the meeting to those visitors, so that way they can be prepared ahead of time. That way, if there's going to be certain themes for your chapter meeting, they can know about all of that information. Or maybe if there's a meal during your meeting time, that way they're aware of how much the cost would be for that meal. Or if there are specific things about your chapter's location that the visitor would need to know in order to specifically find your chapter meeting. There's tons of little details that our visitor hosts and leadership teams love to email to the visitors prior to the meeting starting. So the more that we can help prep our leadership teams and visitor hosts, the better. So let's make sure, guys, if you have a visitor coming, even if it's a last minute registration, it's okay. We want to make sure that we have their information in the system, because if they're not registered, our leadership teams and visitor hosts are having to manually enter in all of the information to mark their attendance after the meeting. So let's help everyone out, guys. It's super easy to register a visitor. You can do it right through the BNI Connect app. So you don't have to go through BNI Online, although there is a spot in BNI Connect Online to also submit that registration through the visitor portal. But you can go right into the BNI Connect app, click on visitors, and click on register. If it's a guest or a substitute, when you get to the last page of the visitor registration, it will ask you if they are a guest, a visitor, or a substitute. So all of the registrations all go through visitor registration, and then once you get to the last page, it will then specify whether they are a visitor, a guest, or a substitute. So I want to make sure everyone knows where that's at. Sometimes it can be confusing because we're looking for a substitute registration or looking for a guest registration, but it's all under visitor registration. So visitors, getting them registered is so crucial to set them up for success and to set our leadership teams up for success, so that way they can plan accordingly for your meeting day. So for thank you for closed business, that's pretty self-explanatory. We want to make sure that we're logging all the thank you for closed business that comes into our business, whether it's from current BNI members, past BNI members, and visitors, guys. So did you know on average, visitors pass about $1,500 worth of business to members and chapters? I don't think many people know that at the very bottom, when you go to log thank you for closed business, if you go to the very bottom of your member dropdown, and this can probably be even more hidden for our larger chapters that you have to scroll through members, but at the very bottom of the drop-down menu, there's a thank you to BNI and a thank you for visitors. Did you know that? So when you have a thank you to a past BNI member that's not in a chapter anymore, you want to go all the way down to the bottom of the drop-down and select BNI to submit that thank you for closed business, since that business came from a connection through BNI. For cross-chapter thank you for closed business, all you'll want to do is, instead of going through your chapter drop-down, you'll just click the little magnifying glass and search for their name. Now the key thing is, with doing cross-chapter searches, is to just type in the first couple letters of their first and last name, because if you spell their name incorrectly of what's listed in BNI Connect, it will not give you additional options of what that could be. So if you're unsure of how to spell their name, if you just want to put in their couple letters of their first and last name and then do the search, it should be able to pull that up. If you still don't see their name pulling up in the option, it could be that the spelling is incorrect, or they could not be in BNI anymore. So that's one of the things that you'll want to make sure. And when a visitor gives you business, passes you business before even becoming a member, then in that drop-down menu, guys, instead of BNI, you're going to select visitor. So that way it actually shows up in the Palms report under the visitor column that a visitor had passed our members' business from attending the meetings. And that's how we track that $1,500 on average of business passed between our members. Now our third item is net new members. So this is another category. It's brand new that we're basing awards off of this year. And we have so much momentum going right now in chapters all over the valley. Now how the awards are broken up this year are based on chapter size that you started with on October 1st. So the whole year is going to be based off of that starting number when you first started on October 1st for our new leadership teams. So we have 4 different categories when it comes to chapter sizes. We have under 16, we have between 17 and 24 members, between 25 and 34 members, and then from 35 plus chapters. Each one of those different sections is going to be grouped into their own awards. So in the past, we separated out between BNI AZ East and BNI AZ West, but now they're all combined just based off of chapter size. And we think that that's going to give a better playing field when it comes to these chapter awards, right? So I just posted yesterday some of our top chapters that are leading the pack when it comes to net new members. Now, I'm not going to spill the beans on thank you for closed business and visitors yet. I'm not going to do it. But net new members, I did spill the beans. Now, these are the top 5 in each of these categories. However, there are a lot of chapters that are they're really close, guys. They're really, really close. So this whole list could change in the next 5 months. But I wanted to give you guys a heads up of where some of the chapters are at. So with our chapters that started under 16, we have BNI Alianzas, BNI Legacy, BNI Impact, BNI Goodyear Legacy, and BNI Evolution. Those 5 chapters are leading the pack when it comes to net new members. I believe BNI Alianzas right now are at net 10 new members. Insane. So great, guys. Have so much momentum going right now. For our chapters that are between 17 and 24 members, we have BNI Accelerators, the Networking Ninjas, Masters of Business, Norterra Networkers, and East Valley Achievers that are leading the pack for net new members for that group. And our chapters that are started with 25 to 34, the chapters that are leading the pack are Power Professionals of Queen Creek, QC Connect, Absolute Business Builders, and Networking Gold Miners. There were a couple ties after that, so I just left it at the top 4 for that category. Leave you guys in suspense. And then for our chapters that are 35 plus members, the chapters that are leading the pack, number 1 is Biltmore Power is leading the pack. We have Foothill Sharks right on their tail, BNI Platinum, Connectors, and Arrowhead Legends. They all have had amazing growth so far, and this is just from October 1st. So congratulations to all of our chapters that are just blowing it out of the water when it comes to net new members so far for this year. And we still have 5 months left, guys. So there is still time to surpass some of these chapters that are in the top 5 spot. Because I know a lot of chapters have events coming up that are still going to continue through Member Extravaganza. So make sure to keep that momentum going, guys. That is one of the biggest things, is just creating the events, utilizing social media to create that buzz for your chapter. And if you need anything, if you have any questions, please reach out to Carolyn and I, because we are always here, happy to help you guys with any training, information, anything that you guys need. And let's see. Oh, and member success program training, that we have so many more options now, guys. So we have 3 different options when it comes to our new member training. If you go to bniarizona.com, click on the calendar link, you'll see all the updated dates. Our very first in-person member success program training is this Friday, guys. We did change the location to the Compass Cleaning Solutions office because we just moved into our brand new BNI Arizona office, so it's not quite done yet, but it will be done by the time we have our next training. So if you want to check out that in-person training, and it's going to be conducted by Nate Dominguez, make sure to register. Just go to the calendar link and register for that training for this Friday. And then we have other dates as well. So we still have Bonnie training our Zoom Member Success Program training, which is incredible. So we still have lots of options. And if you're one of those busy professionals that doesn't want to go to the in-person or the Zoom live trainer sessions, we still have it available to complete your new member training through BNI Business Builder, and that is all through courses done online. I will say, however, our Zoom and our in-person trainings are phenomenal, guys, and you'll get to meet other new members from around the Valley, and a lot of seasoned BNI members also repeat that training as well, so you'll get to meet some other amazing professionals from all over the Valley. And if you have any questions about the training or any of the information that I shared today between Member Extravaganza or our amazing awards that we're going to have coming up, we will have our annual event. So we're going to do an end of the year annual celebration in October. So stay tuned for more details on the event date and location. We're just wrapping up the location to confirm the date, but it will be towards the end of October, just to do a huge end of the year annual celebration to have fun with you guys and to celebrate all of your successes. So thank you guys again so much for attending this week's edition of Wisdom Wednesday. And remember, guys, to record one chapter education unit for watching. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.